Is this thing on? Looks like. Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Coach KoKo and I love volleyball. So much so my channel's full of tips, tricks, hacks, and everything you could ever need to know about volleyball. So today, I'm gonna talk to you about 5 tips for shorter players. Now, if you consider yourself on the shorter side, these tips can really help you grow in your volleyball game, your tryout, and your confidence. So let's get right into it. So first things first, whenever you're thinking about playing and you're a shorter player, we first have to look at the average height of a volleyball player, both in college and professionally. Because sometimes what we consider short may not be considered short at all. And sometimes what we consider tall may also be short in volleyball standards. But don't let that stop you. Let's go over some tips for short players. So, one of the biggest tips that I have from players who want to hit the ball is to make sure to hit the ball 5 feet off the net. What that means when it's 5 feet off the net, it gives you a better angle to hit the ball over the court, so that way you can see a little bit better and you can adjust your approach. So sometimes when you see people who are spiking the ball or hitting the ball over the net and they're on the taller side, they can get closer and hit it tight to the net. But you want to make sure to the approach that you can do the best, that you can be able to do that. And most of the time with a shorter player, they have a better range of motion when it's 5 feet off of the net. And this also will simulate for the back row attack, because liberos can back row attack. It's a great thing. It also simulates the same thing, so that way you can prepare yourself for the back row attack and on the net. Let's go to the next tip. So the next tip is to make sure you communicate with your setter. If you don't communicate with your setter, how do they know what kind of ball you want to set? So with communicating with your setter, that means coming up to them and saying, hey, I think this adjustment will work, I think this adjustment will work. And sometimes that helps a lot when you're working with the coach. If the coach works with you and the setter, you guys can develop that relationship and it can help you hit better over the net. So communication is always a great thing. Always ask for what you want to receive, because a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So, a common misconception is that whenever you're learning how to play back row or you're a shorter player, you shouldn't learn how to spike the ball. Yes, you should. Learn how to spike the ball, and most of the time, players will learn from the outside hitter position, and that's the way they'll learn, because it helps them develop that foundation to know how to spike the ball from all over. So whenever they're doing hitting lines or they're practicing spiking, make sure to insert yourself. That way you can grow in that hitting skill. And that way you can transition into the next tip, which is the libero back row attack. Let's go. Right, make sure you learn how to set, because liberos set a lot and they're able to learn how to set because you might be utilized as a setter someday. So learn how to set. Make sure that you're versatile and you have more than one position in mind. That means that if there's another girl or boy who's going to play the libero, you can also be the setter. The setting skill should be the second skill that you learn, which is most prominent for you if you're going to be a back row player, because we always love setters and we love setters who can set well. It really diversifies you from the pack and it gives you the opportunity to grow. Last tip coming up. Hey, so here's the last tip. So one of the things that I really want you guys to learn how to do is advocate for yourself. That means speak up for yourself. That means that if something that's going on that you want to see more of or you don't want to see that much of, it's okay to talk to your coach and ask questions. I want you to be able to be comfortable enough to not only ask about the learning that you're getting from your coach, but also ask questions so that way you'll grow in your volleyball game. So that means communicating with the setter, communicating with your teammates, communicating with your parents, the coach. Make sure to get into the habit of asking questions. So I really hope that you like this video with the tips on how to really grow as a shorter player. If you like this video and you like videos like this, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.